Fuck you, motherfuckers. You're on mute, you dummy.
You. Well, go ahead and kick us off then, host.
What's good, motherfuckers? It's Saturday. It's football. College football. But guess what? Tomorrow's game day. Raider Nation. What's good? It's Phil Jones, and here with me is Phil Robinson, and welcome to another great episode of The Unfiltered Truth. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing phenomenal. Hey, we got another.
Sound like you're in the shitter right now. You all right?
Maybe
You
not.
echoing. You echoing.
Am I still echoing?
Are you good now?
Got that background shit. My bad. Anywho, yeah, college game day, always a good time. We gotta jump into this and talk about this last game that passed by, first game of the season actually.
I mean, what the fuck you want me to say? Defense came out there. They were doing their job about damn near the entire game. I didn't see Herbert the pervert putting up 200 plus yards on us in the air.
No.
Problem was, it comes back down to what? The offense. And I'm gonna just say this shit. Andre James, you know what? I'm gonna just talk shit right now. No. I'm gonna talk shit, and I hope they hear this. I hope they get offended by it, and I hope they step the fucking game up because I do this shit. Your blocking was horrendous. Your footwork was atrocious. My God, you were dragging your feet like a 75-year-old man trying to do a damn two-step.
That man is 395 pounds and still outrunning you to the running back in the backfield.
Nah, the woman on 600-pound life moved quicker with her feet than Andre James.
So that man Andre James moves like he's carrying the UPS truck down the street up a hill.
Nah, man, that didn't make no fucking sense. I'm gonna just say this shit. Cody Whitehair, my God, stop trying to go to the. I want you to go to the next level, but man, make sure you get somebody to block at the next level. It's not that hard. You just open your eyes. Now, Cade, Kool-Aid man, we already said that. We already got on Whitehair, and I'm also going to get on Dylan Parham because that don't make no fuck. No, it don't make no fucking sense, bro. It's like you got light in the ass, bro. I get it. I understand, like you're that pull block, and you're gonna need some speed to get it done. But the fact of the matter is, you better come at full force instead of patty caking and shit. And I'm gonna say this shit right now, little ass boy playing fucking quarterback. All that wild montage video shit don't mean a fucking thing anymore. How about your ass learn to stop fucking up and turning over the ball?
We cannot be throwing laterals to nobody. But it just at this level, at any level, but especially in the NFL, we cannot be throwing laterals to nobody in the space, allowing the defense that has been rock solid to have to defend a 15-yard field.
I'm also going to jump into this case right here. You had Trey fucking Tucker wide open. Start getting him involved. Okay. All that underneath trying to just all right, we're gonna just throw to the running back right here. You have two good tight ends. You have a Michael Mayers and then you have Brock Bowers. How about you fucking throw the football to him? And really, and to be honest, really, I'm gonna say this. This is more on the offensive coordinator. Start getting him involved. When you had both of them out there, they were moving downfield. In this day and age, the way this league is going, we can't keep settling for these fucking, oh yeah, it's third and 4, 3rd. Oh, they're gonna have to settle for a field goal. You can't do that shit. Jay, you're absolutely right. Devontae less than 10 targets? That don't make no fucking sense. And I know some people want to jump and say, well, we need to go with Aiden O'Connell. Look, you can say that shit, but let's all be realistic right now. It still ain't gonna solve the problem that we're dealing with right now. Because right now, it goes back to what? You should have drafted a quarterback in either the 2nd round, make shit, even the 3rd round. Fuck. You should have did something.
Or instead of drafting a tight end, you probably should have drafted an offensive lineman, another one, or at least one that can play at the beginning of the season, because what you're putting out there on the interior is not adequate. It could have very well just been a bad game. We can hope that it was a bad game, but you talked about Andre James and his blocking. I'd rather talk about his lack of blocking, the amount of guys that he missed or just flat out didn't hit, the amount of plays that he blocked no one. It'd be if he could at least put a body on somebody at this point, I would be content with that. But the amount of plays where he blocked no one is staggering. It's far too high for him to be sitting there blocking no one, for the nose tackle to be shutting down nearly every run play because he's scraping across his face and beating him to the punch. Like who's snapping the fucking ball. Nobody knows when the ball has been hiked better than you fucking do. How is this guy who's watching you hike the ball beating you to the running back? That is unfucking fathomable. And to watch it happen multiple times, it'd be one thing if he was getting put on his ass because dude was going right through him. I don't like it, but I could at least accept it. You know what I'm saying? Not that this dude in a foot race that you got the advantage just beat you to the spot off the line.
Oh, side note, no, because somebody on defense is still gonna catch this. They gonna catch this bullshit too.
Oh, for sure.
Oh. Divine Diablo.
Ooh.
You have not been divine at all. Nor Diablo. What the fuck are you doing out there? You're not attacking the gap. You're getting taken out of plays. What the fuck, bro? Come on, get your shit together. Maybe that's why they brought in Rayner.
It very well might be because with playing like this will be Diablo's last year because he climbed the mountain last year, and it
But
looked
you
like
know what?
hold on.
I didn't mean. Hold on. I didn't mean to cut you off. Now I'm sorry. But I'm also going to jump and say this shit. Maybe this is why AP had went to the sideline. I think it was the Dallas game or the Niners game, and got in his fucking ear with him and Spillane. I'm starting to make sense now. You fucking up on easy shit, bro. That's a problem. You
That's a
can't be doing this shit. This defense is supposed to be the bread and butter. Everybody did their job. They did their assignment. Even when Green Mile hurt his damn knee, you know, still everybody got the job done. But you over here fucking up, missing assignments on the gaps. What the fuck, bro? And it was always right through that side, right through that side. Because D line was pushing back and getting in that backfield. They made life a living hell for Herbert and the running backs. But when you allow, and this is what comes back to week one in that Vikings game. And it's crazy because that was the same fucking gap they allowed a big play on. So Diablo and fucking guy that I do not ever want to see on that damn starting defense ever again. I don't even want to say his name. Shit. But yeah. But you would think a safety would have the eyes
it
and
was
skill level.
last year.
You would think that would help.
You would think that he would be much, 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 much better in pass coverage than what he is.
Yeah, I'm ready to see Eichenberg and Amari tomorrow.
That would be at least I'd like to see Spillane play at a high level, but I'm interested to see if they run more 3-4.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. They can run a little bit of an over. And then you could also, and to be honest, what might end up happening tomorrow, I mean, really, you could run a fucking 5-2 tomorrow, shit. But the key thing, and I'm going to just jump right in it. Tomorrow, the key thing you got to make sure you do, go back and look at what Kansas City did, taking Mark Andrews out of the picture. If you can take both tight ends out of the picture, Lamar Jackson is not going to have the game that he wants. And if the containment is right, the pressure coming from the inside is good, and you keep like at least forcing to like the sideline, I think you can pull off. I think you can pull it off. But I know they're gonna try to bring in old big bulldozer and just try to keep running the ball. He can't hit around the outside like he normally can. So they're going to try to run him up the middle to try to wear us down. So we got to be able to stop Derrick Henry up the middle. And you're going to have to try to overwhelm Lamar Jackson. If you can shut down Zay Flowers, keep Nelson Aguilar at bay, and hopefully he's having this little drop problem again. I mean, to be honest, that's some of the main keys. Take the tight ends out of the picture and force them to try to run the ball, because they got away from that against Kansas City. I don't know why, but you would think having a running back like him and having that quarterback with that 1-2 punch. You would think that would be the thing to go to beat Kansas City last week, but they didn't do it. If you can stop the run with them, which I know we can as a defense as a whole, force them to throw. Shit. I feel like that receiving core is kind of taking a downplay.
He just doesn't use them. Like if you really look at it, okay, now that I see they double teamed Mark Andrews, and so he went. Zay Flowers was usually his check down option, even though it looked like that was who the play was designed for. Once
Yeah.
they cleared the field, I think he threw to Bateman once or twice. He literally is not throwing to anybody else.
It's almost, I mean, it's almost like he's not trusting him. I don't know what. I don't know what's going on.
Getting open because
Yeah.
the Chiefs the Chiefs DBs are able to man up on their receivers. I mean, they're like you said, the receivers aren't great. Are they good? Yes, but are they great? No. Zay Flowers is fast as fuck. That's where that's and shifty. That's where the rub comes in with him. You give him an inch, he'll take a mile. But everybody else, with the exception of Likely, is somebody that you can man up.
See what I did, right?
To the shadow realm. Watch your mouth. Talking spicy.
Like, look, don't. So let me bring up what happened when you in DC. I can't be walking in the hood out here. I'm scared.
I want Lamar to throw to the flats with Jack Jones lurking around. Chances are it's probably not going to happen.
I got
Go ahead.
I got an idea that they probably will try to take a couple of these shots early downfield. So it won't surprise me if they try to go Zay Flowers 1-on-1 with Jacoin Bennett, and I wouldn't be shocked if they do a tight end wheel route using Isaiah Likely. So they're gonna try to get on the board. They're gonna try to come up with like a good handful of big plays in this game to start off the game. They're just like first quarter, they're gonna try to go up in the air, and then they're gonna try to work in that run game. If they feel like there's a problem with their O line, they're gonna try to do that shit.
Twan, I actually don't believe that will be the case. I believe that would actually be a bad matchup for Jones with the way that they use Flowers. Flowers is primarily in the slot, and they'd be dragging him across the field and doing all other types of stuff like that to where he could where his speed advantage would be on larger display. So it would be, and the way that Graham's been running it, it would probably be more likely that he's going to stick to that boundary than be in the slot. That would actually be more of Hobbs will be on Flowers.
No, definitely. Yeah, got to push the ball downfield, but you can't have that ball hanging up in the air.
No. So when did Trey Mo look awful? I've seen nothing but great things out of Trey Mo this off season, training camp and preseason. I actually believe that he's going to have the best year of his career under the coaches that we have in place.
Yeah, I didn't think he did bad last week.
I got to see our O line hold. I'd actually not like to see them hold at all, or at least not get flagged for it.
I know what he means. I know. Look, stand your ground. That's it. We'll put it like that.
There we go.
But no, I agree with Jerome on that one. I mean, If you got to go with Madison, go with Madison. Um, but Zamir White, he's got to figure that shit out. He had a chance. I don't. And then
On
here's
him.
the other thing.
It's not on Zamir White because it's the way that they deployed him, which is a topic that we'd spoken about a long time ago. Zamir
Yeah,
White is a delayed gap runner because he has to be able to see it and it has to be blocked up so that he can be told where to go versus when you give him the option to pick a hole on a zone, he can't see where the hole is, or he won't read it properly. Not that he can't see the hole, but he can't see the second layer behind it, at least not at this speed. But when you tell him where the play is going, he can get to the spot. He's a one cut runner. You definitely don't want him trying to start planting both feet in the grounds and making a shake because that's not his game.
no, that is true.
And early they tried that cute shit, and they were giving Madison the powers that they should have been given to Zeus.
Yeah,
The gun run shit at Georgia was horrible for him. He's a single back ace formation or I formation running back. That's who he is.
yeah, single back ace. Yeah, yeah. That's what he's always been. That's see, and that's why. And I still go back to thinking that that's why James Cook had the success. They made that offense more catered to him, and just kind of gotten away from Zamir White with it. And so that's why I'm just like, I didn't like how they did him. I mean, like I said, Zamir, he can have success this year, but he's got to be smart with that football. I'm telling you. When I saw the two turnovers, that should tell you right off the get go, yeah, you about to lose this game.
Yeah, oh,
'Cause
that's the first one. I was already seeing it because I said, and this is where the dam breaks. Because we've seen this movie many, many times over the course of the years here at the Unfiltered Truth and before. The defense is out there doing their thing, holding them out shut, 3 outs. Sometimes they'll even be getting turnovers.
Yeah,
Anything to keep it going, but so the offense just does enough of nothing, a whole lot of nothing, absolutely nothing, up until the time that the defense gives up a touchdown. And once the game is out of reach, then we want to start scoring a couple touchdowns and say, well, maybe if the defense had just held them, even though the defense has been on the field 40 minutes a fucking game.
yeah. Defense had more time possession than the fucking offense, man. Shit,
Possession.
that ain't make no damn sense. It can't be that way. That's what I'm saying. Like as much as you got folks that want to say, "Oh, but the defense," okay, yeah, but the offense. Well, I mean, I'm gonna say this. Nobody hasn't said that. That's a good thing. It means everybody's starting to have some common sense now. Your offense was fucking up. Offense can't fuck up. Offense got to keep going, and they got to keep scoring. Like I said last week, the way the league is changing each year, you have to be aggressive. What I mean by aggressive, you can be smart and aggressive, but don't be dumb and aggressive. The problem was that happened last week. We decided to be dumb and aggressive. That cute shit, uh-uh. Going for it on 4th and 1 on what? You're what? What they don't know what? They're 30 on the 40-yard line?
34 or something like that. Somewhere mid 30s, somewhere like that.
I
No.
mean, you paying Christian Wilkins that money.
And yes, I did see him, and that was what I was looking for to see. I think there was one particular play when he stuffed the third down run where he lined up as though he knew exactly where the play was, pushed the tackle into the backfield, then shed him and made the tackle. And it was a beautiful thing. And that was what I expected to see. And the fact that Herbert was getting rid of the ball as fast as he wasn't allowing for anybody to be able to get to him. And ultimately, that's going to be what you see how teams choose to attack this defense,
Yeah.
because the holes that it has are at the linebacker position at this point, or running towards the edges.
Bob, I think that was on all.
So let me explain this, and it's going to be an unpopular thought, but I'm going to tell you the thought process behind this at the conservative level, because ultimately coaches are conservative human beings. That's what keeps them employed. So the 4th and 1 was outside of field, not necessarily outside of field goal range, but apparently Daniel Carlson has suddenly become an unreliable kicker, or he's got some type of issue going on that hasn't been disclosed or we don't know anything about. Again, this is purely speculation. I don't know if that's the case or not. But your offense has struggled. You is getting no push on the line of scrimmage. So if you're talking about 4th and 1, you're talking about mano e mano when the defense knows it's coming, and they haven't managed to do that when the defense didn't know it was coming. And so you were also at roughly about 8 minutes. So if you it's not 8 minutes, maybe about 5 or 6. But if you kick the punt, you pin them deep in the deep in their own end, which they did, and you hold, because they held for 2 plays and gave up the third, and the third was the one that busted them. But you get off the field in that situation, you've run off probably another 2 to 3 minutes, left your offense with 4 minutes to drive the field, score, and potentially leave your defense, which has been lights out, rock solid all game long, roughly about 40 to 90 seconds to play defense to hold for the win.
Yeah.
So it's not a popular decision, because everybody wants to see you go for it and get it right there. Oh, it's 4th and 1. But with the way that the game had been played up to that point, and the way things were, because that's also what you have to take into consideration, is if you look at the down and distance and not what's been happening, it'll be easy to criticize for not going for it, because that's the conventional wisdom. But at that point in time, you need the points. And he was playing the long game with the expectation that his defense would continue to do what it had been doing all game long.
Whew. But I mean, one thing I would like to say is hopefully JPJ can be active. If we got to make some changes, they'll give him that opportunity to get in. But if not, time will tell. This O line's got to step up. I mean, that's the clear fact, common sense. You got to step up. You're gonna have to really engage in your blocks. Andre James, he's gonna have to call shit out better at the line of scrimmage, and he's gonna have to be at the point of attack. He's got to make sure, hey, somebody's coming through. Boom. Hey, you see him struggling right there. Give a chip. But standing over there looking like you're lost in the sauce, man, that shit ain't working, man. Your ass will be gone by next year. Forget what they gave you on your contract. You will be gone if you continue to keep doing this shit. I mean, it's real, Phil. It's really nothing else to say.
No, it's
I
not.
mean, it, Raiders continue to shoot themselves in the foot. They can either come out, win on the road, or you can just go on and screw the pooch again. Like I said, defense is out there doing their shit. They're creating pressure from the outside, the inside. You know, the linebackers want to stuff at at a point, except for Diablo. Secondaries on their shit, but you can't leave a defense out there all fucking game just to say like, well, our offense ain't doing shit, but our defense, they'll be all right. We can keep running them out there. And I'm really gonna still say it. I'm gonna come at AP for clock management, because at that point, you're down in this game. It was 16-10 at the time. You should have went for it. That was the time you should have went for it. Your defense was on their last line. As much as you may think like, oh well, I think our defense can keep doing it. They've been tough, they've been aggressive. No, fuck that shit. You expect to see something from your offense. It's time for your offense to contribute and do something right here on a whistle, like 4th and 2. 4th and 2. Yeah, you got about 6-7 minutes left in the game. But and I'm gonna say this with Harbaugh, he's going to do everything in his advantage to try to eat the clock up. Use that bald head. I need you to start thinking. You got Marvin Lewis right there. You got Tom Coughlin right there. Use your fucking noggin. That's all I gotta really say on his part. You gotta think. Those situations when you're in the 4th quarter, coming from the range from 6 to 5 minutes left in the game, yeah, it's 4 down territory. You're gonna go all 4 downs. Fuck that shit. Especially if you're down. Really, like I said, you're gonna have to take Mark Andrews out of the picture. You're gonna have to really make life a living hell for that O-line and Isaiah Likely. If you can do that, again, our run defense, I'm not really worried about them. You just cannot give them time to make bullshit big plays. That's it. Offense, stop trying to be all razzle dazzle. Run the fucking football. You got your tight ends. Throw to your tight ends. You have Devontae fucking Adams. Guess what? Throw to him. You got Myers. Throw to him. Guess who else you got? You have a little speedster in Trey Tucker. Motherfucker, get him involved. And I see that they've been involving Turner as well. Guess what? Use them. Stop being so conservative with certain shit. It's common fucking sense, really. Raiders lost to lack of common sense last Sunday. Okay? You play smart football, but you're going to have to score and, at an extent, be aggressive. That's it. That's all I got to say. I'm not getting worked up, going rah-rah, because I'm going to say this shit. They fucked up early on in the year, not getting their quarterback. You got to get your quarterback next year. It's that fucking simple. And if you don't do that shit, every Raider fan has every right to get a fucking pitchfork, a tiki torch, whatever the fuck you need, and just riot outside the fucking facility.
Or don't buy a ticket. That would be the better way. That would be the better way to handle that. Just don't buy a ticket, because at this point, if you're not addressing your quarterback situation and doing what you have to do by any means necessary to get an elite premium guy in here, and you're simply not doing what it takes to win. You are not committed to excellence. You are not doing what is required to elevate your football team. But
and I'm also going to say this last thing. This is not the fucking 90s and early 2000s. Ladies and gentlemen, stop fucking comparing these motherfucking players that we end up getting in over here. Like, oh yeah, he's like a Rich Gannon. Oh yeah, he's like a Derek Carr. He's like a Nah, they're their own person. All right. They're their own fucking mold. Stop comparing motherfuckers to these greats and shit. And really, four ain't that great. But my point is, Gardner Minshew ain't no fucking Rich Gannon. So don't ever say that shit again. I beat you with a damn stick.
Rich took much better control of the ball, much better care,
And was very vocal too.
Red ass, as they like to say. And I'll say this just about the upcoming game against Baltimore. If John Jenkins and Christian Wilkins are having a big game, then we win it. It's really as simple as that. They're going to be in position all game long to be against inferior opposition because the interior of Baltimore's offensive line is trash. They are trash, and if we can't beat that, then it's going to be another long afternoon on a short morning. But they got to get Matabuki blocked up. He's going to be horrible for James and Parham.
Again, this is why I come back and say, hey, James, give him a fucking chip because you're going to have to do that.
Yeah. And then
it's that simple.
And get shoulder to shoulder or get over there to where Parham started so that you don't create those gaps. Or at least the gap is behind you where you've got it blocked off for your running back, no matter who it may be. But and then you're going to have to ball placement. We talked a lot about everything else, but in terms of ball placement, Minshew has got to be more accurate with that and give his receivers a better chance to get run after the catch or yak, because throwing it to their bodies is, yes, it's a completion, but there's extra yardage that you can get or extra points for that matter that you can get if you can just get the ball out in front of your receiver into some space.
Yeah.
Short of that, that's all I got too. And we're gonna get a chance to see what it's like on the East Coast early in the morning for us over here on the West Coast, 1 o'clock for y'all out there on the East Coast, and we'll get to see how they bounce back. And I'm not gonna get too worked up if they don't, because honestly, I expected them to be 0-2 going with when the schedule came out.
I did call 3-2. Other than that, I'm Phil. That's Phil. It's the end of the Unfiltered Truth. Y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We out.